We are living in the book of Revelation, guys. Now it is illegal to preach and talk about Jesus Christ in the UK.
Welcome back to GBN Tonight with me, Martin Daubney. Now, the Labour-ran Rushmore Borough Council has sparked outrage by proposing a sweeping injunction that could see Christian street preachers imprisoned for up to 2 years if the injunction is breached. Now, over claims of causing offence or distress. Now, under the proposed terms, Christians will be banned from praying for individuals, handing out religious leaflets or Bibles by hand, and laying hands on people in prayer, even with their permission.
If you take God out of a country, you're going to see the demise of a country. So what does this mean? This means that Christians need to flood to the UK and preach the gospel. Come on, not only would it be an honor to be locked up for Jesus for 2 years, but I believe there's going to be a revival in the UK. Pray for the UK. What do you guys think? Make sure that you follow for more Christian content. It's crazy.
If you preach in here, it also depends on what you say, because you might be committing criminal offences as well.
For example, give us an example.
Any homophobic comments?
Yeah.
Right, so
if you make a if you make a members of the public harassment, alarm, distress, it's a criminal offence.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're not really doing that. What we're doing is about preaching our religion.
You're going to provide me with the details, yes or no?
What details are you requesting?
I need your name and your address.
Okay, so can you explain to me why do you need these details?
Pardon?
Can you explain to me? Because I don't understand why.
Okay, currently there's allegation.
Okay.
It's an offence.
So what allegation was it, sir?
Hate crime.
Hate crime.
Section public order offence.
So what was said to cause the hate crime, sir?
Homophobic behaviour.
Give me an example, sir. Give me an example.
I've not heard anything. I'm not saying I've heard anything.
Okay.
Someone's called us, okay? It might be completely untrue. It might be true. I do not know. If you don't give me your name and address, I have grounds to arrest you. Google it. It's code of practice, okay?
I'm aware of
I can arrest you
I know.
suspicion. Okay?
That's fine. I appreciate that.
Can I confirm you're aware of the allegation now that's been made?
Now, I'm still not aware. That's why I want to ask you some questions, yeah?
So what aren't you sure of? I can see you smiling, so I think you're finding this a
I'm
bit
smiling
of a joke.
because I'm a friendly person.
I'm going to ask you one last time, otherwise you're going to be placed under arrest.
Excuse
So
me.
I'm going to ask you for the final time, sir. I'm not asking anymore.
Excuse me.
You've been asked to.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakah Quadash. So this article here is from westernjournal.com. The headline, it reads, it says, UK Christians in shock as government prepares to enact law that could see preachers serve 2 years in prison. So again, we are in that time of the persecution of the prophets, which will also bring in the famine of the word. This is Amos chapter 5 and verse 10. And it reads, it says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly, going back to the men of the Lord that hold the true testimony in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And as I said before, we will be numbered amongst the transgressors and deemed as criminals. This is Psalm 94 and verse 20, and it reads, it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, going back to the Edomites. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law. You see, going back to what we read, government prepares to enact law that could see preachers serve 2 years in prison. All right, because they already have labeled us as a cult. You know, we're pushing. They're saying we're pushing hate speech. You know, we're under the banner of being anti. You know what? You know, we're causing offenses. You know, we're disturbing the peace, all of that to justify them by law to come down upon us. Okay, that's what it's about. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Okay, those unlawful decrees. It says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous, you see, and condemn the innocent blood. Okay, this is about the persecution of the believers and the prophets. See, this is deeper than Christianity. All right, this is a jab at the Israelites, okay, that hold the truth. Okay, this is what this is all about. And as I said before, I did the lesson a couple months ago. Going to this article here, it says J's leaders demand Bible publishers print anti-you-know-what disclaimers in New Testament. All right, and you can check this lesson out from a couple months ago, the persecution of the Bible and the believers prepare your mind for the straits, because we all know who's behind these laws and decrees that are being passed. Okay, it's the 48ers, it's the small hats. Okay, they're spearheading all these laws that we see that are coming to pass to outlaw the Bible, to imprison, those that are preaching and those that believe in the scriptures, man. Okay, so these times are getting extremely heavy. It says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, our power, shall cut them off. Right, so that's the time, man. These are the indicators that we're at the end, that this thing is about to be wrapped up. Okay, let's read a little bit real quick here. Just kind of, just land backing off the intro we just watched. It says the United Kingdom continues in its descent, making a dystopian nightmare a reality. It says the BBC reported last week that Rushmore Borough Council in Hampshire, England, has proposed an injunction against Christian street preachers in towns of Aldershot and Farnborough. All right, and you have brothers out there in England that are going hard, man. Pushing the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So again, this is all a jab to get at the Israelites. This is what it's really about, man. Okay, this Christianity shit, it don't hold no weight, man. They want to get at the true prophets, the true men of the Lord. It says the council claimed they received, quote, a significant number of complaints from residents and businesses of some street preachers over the past 2 years. Right, going back to I was thinking about Acts, the 17th chapter. These are the men that turned the city upside down, and that's what's going on. Okay, this word is out there, hot and heavy. Okay, it says they said the preachers have caused harassment, alarm, distress, and a public nuisance. Right. They said the preachers have caused harassment, alarm, distress, and a public nuisance, especially with respect to use a loudspeaker and aggressively approaching members of the public. It says among the claims are complaints that preachers have made, quote, homophobic and disableist comments, laid hands on children without parental permission, and claimed members of the public have an evil spirit within them. All right, so these are all the justifications that they're going to use to outlaw the scriptures. All right, so they're basically using these Christians as the scapegoat. Right. It says the council, quote, the council would like to emphasize that we understand the sensitive nature of this issue, and the legal action is not intended to prevent peaceful groups of any faith, including Christianity, from preaching, or in any way prevent freedom of speech, the spokesperson added. All right, that's all bullshit. Okay, it's all about preventing the freedom of speech and get the words of the Lord out of the way. It says, although the official claim said this action applies to preachers of different backgrounds, see? And that's including the Israelites. Although the official claimed that this action applies to preachers of different backgrounds, as the BBC reported it, the spokesperson's remarks in the context point to this being targeted at Christians specifically. All right, you see? This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. All right, some of us are going to get locked up. All right, it's written in the testimonies, man. The disciples got locked up. They were in prison. But the Lord was there to deliver. And the same thing is going to happen in these times, man. It says the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, all right, which is a period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right. Some of us may have to be martyrs for Yahweh Shem Yahushua for the testimony of the Lord. Right. But we have to be faithful unto death, and the Lord will give us a crown of life. All right. We have to be prepared to carry our crosses, man. All right. This is a very serious matter. Going back to that, again, the lesson that I did, the persecution of the Bible and the believers, prepare your mind for the straits. All right. You got to prepare your mind for the straight gate, that position of difficulty, trying times, man. Okay. This is 1 Peter 4:12. It says, share the sufferings of Yahushua. And this is part of it. 1 Peter 4:12, beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as you are partakers of Yahushua's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, you may be glad also with exceeding joy. If you be reproached for the name of Yahushua Hamashiach, and that's going to come too. All right, those that's pushing the true name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they're going to label that as anti, you know what? Okay, I guarantee you these devils are going to push laws on the name of the Lord. I wouldn't be surprised. It says, if you be reproached for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of power resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. See that? So it says on their part he is evil spoken of. The fact that we're pushing the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're declaring the prophecies. All right, we're not holding back anything. We're giving the people the full truth. Right? So we're gonna be this word is gonna be evil spoken of, man. Okay, as they labeled us as a cult, you know, we're pushing hate speech. They're saying that we're anti, you know what, all those various things that fall under that banner of persecution that's coming, you know. It says on their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. See that? So we just got to maintain, all right? Because we're in those beginning stages of that persecution coming. Okay? This is 2 Corinthians 10:3. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. You see that? So this truth is mighty. The word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the force of the Holy Spirit is mighty. And what's going on? These strongholds are being pulled down. All the lies of Esau, man, all right, are being dismantled. They're being destroyed. Okay? It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua Hamashiach. You see that? So the word of the Lord is unstoppable, man. All right? So we understood that this point in time was going to come. All right? Isaiah 13 said that this word, let's get that. Isaiah 13:2, it says, Isaiah 13:2, it says, lift you up a banner upon the high mountain. That banner is the truth. All right. This word, the standard that's being lifted. Lift you up a banner upon the high mountain. That high mountain is America, Babylon. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. You see that? So this word has gone up to the gates of the nobility. All right. And the nobility of this world will go back to the small hats, the 1948ers, those that control the earth. Okay. This word has gone up to the gates of the nobles. So now what are they doing? They're pushing forth laws. All right. They're enacting decrees to stop this word. All right. To get it out the way, to get the prophets out the way. Okay. Eventually they're gonna shut our YouTube channels down. You know. And all that ties into that famine of the word that's going to come. Okay, because these devils are being completely exposed in these last days. There's nothing they can do there's nothing they can do against the truth before the truth, man. All right. So at some point, these devils are going to do what they have to do, and we're in the beginning stages of it, right? This is Jeremiah Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14, and it reads, it says, wherefore thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them, right? These people are being devoured by the fire that's coming out of the mouth of the prophets, man. This word, okay? They have to enact these laws. There's nothing they can do. All right. And we're at that point, as we often talk about, that the only thing Esau has left is to use the sword to physically come down upon us. And this is part of that, man. You know, throwing us into prison, you know, fining us hundreds of thousands of dollars for pushing the word, you know, all of this stuff that's coming into fruition right now. All right. This word is likened unto the fire. The Lord said that his ministers were like a flame of fire, right? Because Psalms 104 verse 4, it says, who maketh his angels spirits, and it says his ministers a flaming fire, right? And that flaming fire that's coming forth from his ministers, the prophets, is what's devouring these people, man. All right, which is destroying these strongholds, man. Okay, which is turning the city upside down. Okay, Jeremiah 23 and verse 29, it says, is not my word like as a fire? See? Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces, man. All right, so these people are being totally destroyed by the words of the Lord, by the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, these people they can't handle the truth. Okay, these devils are extremely hurt. They're cut, man. Okay, jail time, persecution, all right, death threats, you know, all these things are getting ready to come. Okay, because at this word, this standard, as this standard continues to go up, man, guess what? The elect are waking up. Okay, the sheep are being edified. The understanding of the prophecies are going forth. The name of Yahweh Shem Shai is being declared throughout the earth. All right, this is a disaster for these Edomites, man. So you got to understand the what they're coming with, you know. Hosea 6 and 5, it says, therefore have I hewn them by the prophets, I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. You see, NLT, right? Hosea 6 and 5 NLT, it says, I have sent my prophets to cut you to pieces, to slaughter you with my words, with judgments as inescapable as light, man. These people are being hewn and destroyed, man, by the words of Yahweh Shem Shai. This is why these devils are ready to throw us in prison, ready to put us to death. Right? These are the things that Yahweh Shem Shai warned us about, that we would be hated for his name's sake, man. Let's get that too in John 15 and 18 real quick, right? It's John 15 and 18. It says, if the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you're not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. All right, so that we are in that time right now. Okay, this thing is getting ready to go down quickly, man. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, that the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. See that? If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. Right? Because the word is going out. You see? So you people out there, especially you Jakes, that are going to be a part of this persecution campaign against the prophets, you ain't got no cloak because you heard the word. So a lot of you Israelites out there are marked for judgment, for destruction, man. All right. But again, that's the time we in, man. All right. It's getting ready to go down. So I pray this quick lesson was edifying, and shalom to the next one. Shalom.